What if I told you the biggest villain in The Boys isn't Homelander? In fact, everything you've been told about him is designed to distract you from the real enemy. Because when you look closely at the show really closely, you start to realize something disturbing. Homelander was never the cause, he was the result. Let's start with something most people ignore. Vought, the most powerful company in the show, wasn't built by heroes. It was built by a Nazi scientist. Not metaphorically, not loosely inspired, literally. And if that sounds familiar, it should. Because after World War II, the United States secretly recruited Nazi scientists under a program called Operation Paperclip, meaning the foundation of Vought isn't fiction. It's history, rebranded. Now here's where it gets uncomfortable. Homelander didn't become a monster. He was designed to be one. As a child, he was locked in isolation chambers, experimented on, and psychologically broken by experts, not randomly, not accidentally, on purpose. They needed someone powerful, but emotionally unstable enough to control. Think about that. They didn't just create a superhero. They created a weapon with a personality disorder. And here's the part nobody talks about. Vought didn't just create superheroes. They created the problems those heroes would solve. In Season 1, they secretly spread Compound 5, creating super terrorists. Why? So they could step in as the solution. More fear means more demand. More demand means more power. That's not a storyline. That's a business model. Now let's talk about the moment that broke the internet, when Homelander killed a man in front of a crowd, and nobody turned against him. They cheered. That scene wasn't just shocking. It was accurate, because the show isn't about superheroes. It's about what happens when people stop questioning power and start worshiping it. So now ask yourself, if a system creates the monster, controls the monster, and profits from the monster, then who's really the villain? Because here's the final piece. The one that changes everything. Homelander isn't the opposite of Butcher. He's the mirror. Both are driven by trauma. Both believe they're justified. Both are willing to destroy everything to prove they're right. And in the original story, Butcher becomes the final villain, which means this entire time, the boys weren't fighting the real enemy. They were fighting symptoms, while the system behind everything kept growing stronger. So no, Homelander isn't innocent. But he was never the real villain. He's just the most successful product of something much worse. And the scariest part, that system doesn't just exist in the show.